Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. Crypto is dropping again. Bleed, bleed, bleed. Many KOLs in crypto are calling for a crypto winter, a bear market. That usually lasts about a year. We're going to go through a lot of information coming your way today, friends. We're going to be speaking about some quarterly returns being put for BTC and crypto right now. But President Trump deciding on the next US Fed. We're going to speak about Jim Cramer. What did his crystal ball say? The inverse Jim Cramer. Uncle Peter's Schiff, once again, fudding crypto. More stablecoins, SuperCycle, tokenization stuff. All of that coming your way and more. Plus, we're going to go through some bear market astrology with blockchain backer. I've got a lot of things coming your way. You and I will play some angel music, though, because we are witnessing right now, friends. Bitcoin, $89,000. It traded down to 88. So just call it $88,000. It did come down here as well. I guess that Cameron Winklevoss guys, this is your last chance to buy Bitcoin under 90,000. Straight away, literally didn't even give him 24 hours, dude. This is what happens in this game when you jinx yourself. Okay, so the monthly candle is deep, deep, deep red. And look, even if this is similar to the Trump tariff tantrum, I mean, that means like, this is what it required to exit out of the Trump tariff tantrum, because you have 2 red months. The Trump tariff tantrum, had literally an engulfing. It finished the month right on through the week. This is not even bothering trying to do any sort of wick or anything out here. It's literally, this is actually, I think it's one of the deepest, worst months for Bitcoin, actually. Down 18% in a month. Already from the high, down 29, pretty much 30%. This is standard correction stuff out here. And when everyone's talking about the moving averages lost, they say, hey, bad things are now happening because all the moving averages, they're basically rolling over, specifically because, it's been the traditional 4 years. Everyone's looking at these big MACDs. This is what happened for Japan yen Pokemon crisis. We'll go speak a bit more about what's going on as well. And just to let you know, friends, this is what everyone's actually talking about. And just keep this in mind, actually. I've been listening, watching some blockchain backer. I found it fascinating. You're going to laugh at this. Blockchain backer, in his stream, I'm not joking, friends, he said this 5 times in an hour. So it was very frequent. He said, everybody out there's only showing bullish stuff. Everybody's out there bullish. They're too scared to cover my bearish stuff. And he actually said, everybody's too scared to do a bearish take. And I'm thinking, what? Does this guy watch anybody? He doesn't. He doesn't. I found out what? Dude, I'm going to show you some tweets, friends. We have like Ivan on Tech. We have Shicho Larson. Many KOLs. We have Incest Answers. We have Ben Copen. So he doesn't know. Like literally the highest follower count in crypto YouTube is calling for a bear market. Okay, with at least 70% chance of occurring, which pretty much means 100%. That's in KOL speak. Which I'm thinking like, what the hell are you talking about, bro? Have you seen anybody? No, he hasn't. He hasn't out here. But we're going to keep the candle lit for us, friends, okay? Because we believe, okay? This is, I was wanting to show you as well, on this monthly chart, this is the 200-week moving average, or you can do like a 50-month, right? The floor price is $56,000. Now, this is where these things are different, okay? In the past cycles, all right, you're going off 4-year cycle, the top was in when this 200-week moving average, pretty much, when there's that big support line, okay, that's what, so it comes back towards it. It acted as support in the past. I've actually just made it an exact 200-week moving average, okay? In the past, when the line crosses the all-time high, the top is in, okay? The top is in. You see this? So when the line, when the average literally crosses the all-time high, the top is now in, okay? So pretty much, what was our all-time high before? It was $69,000. So right now, this thing is at 55, all right? So that's just something I'm showing you. It hasn't crossed. But people say it doesn't matter. This 4-year cycle, I'm looking at the price trend, etc. So they don't care about any of these things out here when they're looking at patterns. So I'm just giving you an idea of what's actually happening, right? That's how much it's stalled out. But people like quick to exit for whatever reason. It's been enough time. They're saying it's the end. Now, of course, friends, this is deep poop because we have now broken the 10-period moving average of Bitcoin. Its parabolic advance has now stalled. That's what's happened as well. We're going to have a now look at the Bitcoin weekly chart. All right. Is this going to be just some 4-year cycle food? Is that what it's going to be? Just like Trump tariff tantrum, Japan yen explosion, September FUD? Is this going to be some deep poop, okay? Or is it going to be one of those corrections out here? This is deep, all right, 30%, but we've had them before. I mean, this one was 32. This one was 32 as well, okay? And if you look at the September FUD as well, this one was 22. So we have seen them out here. When we went back all the way to 2021, when Bitcoin flipped red on the weekly super trend, okay, it was down already 36, and then by the end of the month, it had hit 42%. Okay, so things seem to be contracting in terms of volatility over time, which makes sense. We are still in near the snake, okay? We're going to show you as well later on. Blockchain Backer's argument is that we were in euphoria in November 2024, which is, it's wild because remember, friends, that's actually everything like about my dark prophecy has played out, where everybody thinks 2025 is going to be amazing. No one buys in 2024. Sorry, no, everyone buys in 2024. The suckers who would normally buy in 2025, they're coming in 2024. And then in 2025, they give up. They sell because they go, oh, well, something's broken. That was literally my whole dark prophecy. I made many videos in 2023. That was the whole thesis. The whole thesis was everybody's seeing dollar signs. They buy a year too early. Then in 2025, there's no suckers to come in. So what actually happens? The people in 2024, they're the suckers. And now they're going to sell. Actually, that's what's happening right now. It's kind of funny. This is now the second wave. We already saw them, friends. You saw many KOLs sell on the Trump tariff tantrum. Okay, they sold 30% of the portfolio. And now everyone who is following them and selling as well. Selling here. Okay, and even if we get some sort of relief bounce, okay, we're not out of the woods because this moving average can come down. This is what everyone's eyeing out. You know, Bitcoin between 95 and 100. Even if Bitcoin gets like, there won't be any friendship unless you literally see Bitcoin 118. Let's just call it 120. That's it. Which, you know, kind of helps on the bull side because it tells if I'm thinking like that, that means everybody else is thinking like that. Which also means they are not buying here at all. Have you noticed that, friends? You know, Blockchain Backer, Ivan, every single one of them, friends, all of them have said, I'm just telling you, they said, do not bid at all. Don't bid. This is not cheap. It's going to get worse. There's going to be a relief bounce and it's going to get worse. So pretty much you can be guaranteed, friends, all the people who are selling and listening to these people, look, we could go in a crypto winter. Next year could get terrible worse, okay? That's not my strategy, is not to guess whether next year is going to be bad or good or whatever. Okay, if you notice a lot of the people, these guys are wrong on the upside. Why can't they be wrong on the downside? You know what I mean? Like just naming all of them. Like you guys had way higher targets on the upside. So why should we trust you on the downside? Like just be, you know, you don't want to get complacent or anything, but it's just something to think about. So no one is buying here, friends. Literally no one. All right. If there was some sort of friendship recovery up to 118, so you already know if we got to 118, 120, all those people, they've sold their portfolio here and they've sold their portfolio here. Okay, they have. So that would land in the trap of all traps. Because why these people sell, friends? Oh, I believe in crypto, kinda, but there's actually a 4-year cycle, so I'm getting out. See, as winter's here. Okay, you don't believe then. Really, technically, you don't believe. You know, I'm not saying it's not to posture and say, oh, it's not about it's not about morals or ethics or something. I'm just telling you, like, markets reward believers. They do. Friends, these same people, you know, think about it. Like, look what happened to Zcash. Look what happened to XRP. I know, we wish there's a lot more coins as well, but, and these people don't have these amazing track records out here. And actually, if you notice, just going to flat out say, friends, a lot of the people claiming these big things, you notice they're selling you something. They're trying to sell us something all the time. You know what I mean? It's funny, like, no. Don't listen to these other people. They're trying to sell you hopium. Bro, you're trying to sell us a $1,000 or $2,000 item too. What do you mean? No. Don't take their hopium. Here, take my trusty spoon. Miss Spoonie doesn't want to be charged $2,000 for a hug. Okay? Spoonie gives him out free. Let's go look at the price action for BTC, friends. This is Bitcoin, obviously stabbing the lows. Very, very common for it to do something like this. Even if there's going to be a relief bounce. The previous monthly low is this 100K zone. Anything 100K, you could tell it's just damaged psychologically. Everyone's calling for, like, that's why if you actually look at this, even Blockchain Backer, friends, BCB, I'll show you some, what he thinks even, just guessing, right? Just showing you. But what he even thinks is there's a bottom here And we might even go all the way back up to like here. Okay, like a 50% retrace. Okay, but then eventually at the end of next year, this $90,000, $80,000 drops and we go down. And he said he might consider buying a tiny bit at 69 and then maybe buy the rest at like 60. Okay, so that's what they all expect. Where we go sideways bear, it's all over, and then something explodes downwards next year. So, man, it really comes down to belief. It really comes down. It really does. Comes down to whether or not you believe or not. Like in terms of, hey, what are you actually holding for? Are you holding for cyclical timing reasons? Because if you are, you've actually sold now. I actually want to show you something as well, friends, before you even look at other price action. Ethereum, remember, Ethereum has its CME gap. Okay, do you remember, friends? I think it's about to close it right here. Okay, so here it is right now. So maybe it has another stab down as the S&P 500 does some sort of NVIDIA. NVIDIA's got these earnings. I don't know, are they out yet or not? I don't know. But even if, I just have a feeling, like even if it's good, it has like the little fake out and then it comes back down anyway. You know what I mean? Because it's a red month for NASDAQ. So here we have the the Ethereum CME gap all the way here. Actually, did this one close? Maybe this one didn't even close. Or maybe it did. Oh, no, it did close, whatever. Okay, so we have the Ethereum CME gap. Would you consider it technically not really closed? Technically, still $40, $50, whatever. So it could be like smacking down and do something out here. But I wanted to just bring that to your attention as we traverse these times together as well. Remember, Bitcoin and the global liquidity is pooped. Here we have Bitcoin and the global liquidity looking absolute poops out here. And here we have global liquidity needs to be injected. There's actually, friends, Raoul Powers going to do some sort of stream soon and stuff. Maybe we go check it out. But it's all the same stuff. It's everybody who's out, friends, they all say the same thing. They go, you're in denial. You're all in denial. They keep just always throwing this stuff out here. It could be. We'll see. Now, if you want to know why are we even still here? Firstly, you believe in crypto, believe in fundamentals, self-sovereignty, self-custody, freedom of speech, real DeFi, code is speech, and everything out here. But also, there's some strange stuff happening, man. This is what we got to talk about as well. This is OTHERS-btc. I've got videos and stuff coming about on this. This is why, look, we are truly in a ball squeezing moment. Bitcoin's price action is weak, but altcoins relative to Bitcoin look like they've exhausted sellers. Okay? I dare I say strong, but I can't really say it's about to be a strong month. I want to see maybe how December goes, but this MACD is about to cross up. Okay? So this is it sitting right now. Of course, it can always get worse, but also you have the Fed ending QT and cutting rates along the way. Okay? So this is why it's like, it really is. That's why I'll tell you, it really is a believer cycle. We have exited every person who wanted a quick buck in 2025. They are gone. Every person who thought Trump was going to pump it right away, they are gone. Every person who was just here for like a 4-year cycle timing, they're gone. We've got rid of them. Literally got rid of them. Yeah, literally everybody. Okay. Everybody who was just long altcoins because they thought Bitcoin was going to have one more flash up to 150K, they are now gone. They're out. Okay. So everybody holding here, you're a believer. Okay. That's it. No other way to say it. But you know, what credit do you get? You know, it's not really credit because people selling would say, hey, I'd rather have my stable coins out here while you guys go to zero. Okay. So you're never going to be able to reconcile that 100%. Okay. And the goal isn't to do that necessarily as well. What we're going to do, friends, we'll go check out some macro as well. We have the racist Russell 2000 under the all-time high still. This is the JD chart for the racist Russell 2000. And then here we have the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ out here, friends, this is a 7% drop for the NASDAQ as well. Put in a super trend. Yeah, it's the same old crap. So maybe NASDAQ goes a full 10% standard correction or something out here. That's what everyone, I guess, is waiting to see. How does crypto react if NASDAQ goes the full minus 90% down? Because everyone's talking about the AI bubble. They keep using the word AI bubble. And, you know, usually when they use that word AI bubble, usually means people are just cooling off for a while. And it's not actually the top. That's what it usually means. This is the Bitcoin dominance. out here, friends. It is still red on the weekly super trend. It was ticking and ticking, ticking. Now, it's very annoying on the daily because it just takes so long. Like, it's just easier to look at the weekly chart out here. Are we going to get some sort of resolution soon? Probably not. You never know, okay? But we're just watching this day by day just to watch this in action. Remember, it's been my whole heart belief, friends. See, this is wild. Check this out, right? We had Trump euphoria in 2020. This was after Trump won, right? And then look what ends up happening. We actually have a Bitcoin dominance run. This is what I believe was the dangerous run. Because that, to me, was a Bitcoin only, sell Ethereum at all costs, Bitcoin only run. And everyone out here was like Bitcoin strategic reserve. The US government's going to buy it. They're trying to front run it. So that's why, in just me, right? I think, like, even if Bitcoin dominance got down here, I don't think it's cheap, personally, at 54%. I think even just based off today's PMI, this thing should be 50. Literally just based off today. All right? So that's where my thinking is with that. Because I know all these people, you know, friends, like, I'm not going to, like, are you going to provide a bid for all these people who bought Bitcoin dominance up here when they finally realize, oh, crap, Bitcoin's actually got no tech. What's going on here? You know? But people can't think straight. Why? Because you don't have a PMI rising yet. You know, as we all know, as I cover for you so many times. Remember, we are 36 months deep in the red. Next month's going to be month 37 as well. PMI is low. Friends, it's kind of funny. I watched Ivan. Ivan was disrespecting and spitting on Raoul Pal. Yeah, and it was crazy. Raoul, this is funny. See, Ivan, this is what I'll tell you. Look at this confirmation bias that everyone gets. Ivan thinks Raoul Pal just started talking about the business cycle and ISM literally yesterday. Did you know that? He literally, yeah, Ivan thinks that Ivan doesn't know that Raoul Pal has been talking about this for 3 years, and he made all those charts. He was the one who popularized it because he was showing everyone, hey, look at Main Street. Look at everybody out here. Everything is still dampened. Okay, so that's wild. That is wild. Now, obviously, I knew about the cycle stuff out here, but like Raoul popularizer, he put all the global liquidity and all these long-term things. It was wild. I did not know that Ivan's like, he's like laughing and spitting. He's saying, oh, look at this. He's basically calling him stupid. He's basically calling Raoul Pal stupid. He's like, oh, look at this cope. Like, you're just trying to get this correlation stuff out of nowhere. It's actually kind of, I don't know what to think. What do you think, guys think? Is that embarrassing or what? I was like shocked. Like, why you didn't know? Raoul Pal's been literally the guy, bro. He's been doing this for 3 years. He's been talking about the business cycle and everything out here. But, you know, man, it's coming down to the wire, isn't it? So, as you know, friends, well, actually, what we'll do now, let's check out blockchain backers fractals, bear stuff, before we cover on anything else. So, blockchain backer thinks even XRP is going to do the death move of doom. That's why he believes 2024 was euphoria. XRP was the only coin to re-break its all-time high. Everything else did a lower high, which was in August this year or whatever. And then he believes that, you know, everything's going into a deep bear market and everything's game over. This is the fractal he's been using. So this is one fractal he used where there was no bounce. Okay, so he's saying, like, if Bitcoin can't get to this 100K relief, then this is the actual move that happens, where it's just this. It's just this trash where it's like, you know, like that, before he believes in ultimate going down as well. Okay, and then I'll just show you more charts as well. This is just a fractal of XRP again, where he thinks that everything's about to get poop. He's showing the downtrending moving price with XRP. Oh, there's a total crypto and Bitcoin. He's, I guess, expecting always the bear stuff to come back down. More charts out here. So this is, I guess, the base case where we're like so oversold, so much fear. Even up here, this is where he's basically going to sell everything. That's his. See, if you notice, friends, people are going to sell on the relief. They're all selling, you know that. So this, you know what, friends, it's kind of funny. I was around here last bear. On the way down, I never at one point saw even a tweet or a YouTube comment or a KOL saying, yeah, I'm going to sell on the relief. I never saw that. It was, I don't know why. It's interesting. Maybe it's just my brain. I can't remember, but I don't remember seeing that at all. So, what does that mean? It means, like, you know, if we do get there, they'll be getting out. You know, they'll be getting out. It's kind of funny. They might be getting out. Like, even if I draw this, even if we did ultimately go up, okay, if they're expecting a relief here, you never know. Maybe it just doesn't even go to 100, and it gets them out here. All right, their relief was higher. It gets them out there, and then we'll see what happens. Does it actually go down here, or does something else crack, and we actually go up? So, yeah, it's obviously, it's of course, being very, very disappointing. What can we do? Like, what can you do? You can click out. If you think things are going to get better, you can click out. I'm not clicking out though, okay? I see cheap altcoins. I see all this cheap stuff. I don't give a shit. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care. It's not part of my strategy. My strategy isn't time this and time that. My strategy is buy and hold cheap stuff. Okay, buy and hold cheap stuff. And I can't be following other people, and you can't either. Why? Because those people, friends, did they tell you to buy Solana at $10 to $20? No, they didn't. It's kind of funny. The guys who were still holding Sol, yeah, who told you to buy at 10 or 20, they're still holding. Okay, and what did the other friends? What did the other KOLs do? Oh, Solana's $220 now. Don't worry, it's going to 500 to 1,000. You can get in. Oopsies, did some trend reverse, and now you're taking a loss. Okay, we've got to get out. Now I'm calling for a 1-year bear market. So, you know, remember, they're trying to sell. Everyone's trying to sell you something. Okay, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm not getting out. That's it. Okay, go to 0 negative numbers. I'm like, okay, well, welcome to the party, bro. I've been at 0 for 4 years. So this is just a macro crypto, macro Bitcoin, right? Blockchain backer highlighting the RSI divergences, rolling over into the MACD of this weekly chart, showing big structural weakness for Bitcoin. Yeah, man. I mean, this is just, it's coming down to the wire, isn't it? Out here. This is another fractal. This should show you what it would look like out here. We have BTC. So even if BTC says does eventually capitulate, going out here, this is the old Bitcoin chart. This is what the fractal would look like. Bitcoin doing this like little jiggy jig into next year and then capitulating down a 70. You know, this is where the 75K zone is. Mark Yosko and Ivan talking about 75K. Back to the previous high. That's what they say in the bear out here. So it would take this fractal as well, friends. That's the end of next year. Jeez. So what altcoins, their 4-year bear market becomes a 5-year bear? What? My gosh. And then what? A year recovery, and then a year maybe to go up, and then a year maybe after that because it takes too long. 8 years for wow. That if that happens, man, that's what can you do, man? I'm still holding. Okay, so this is Hedera Hashgraph. This way, if blockchain backer thinks Trump winning was euphoria, and then we just had the lower high complacency run. Okay, so let's crack on with some news. So the quarterly returns, Bitcoin is actually down now 22% for the quarter. You can see how poop it is out here. Q4, 22%. This is the second worst Q4 in history. The first one was actually the bear market I joined. It was actually when I joined. Bitcoin dropped 42% in the month, but 42% in the quarter Q4, but it had a 100x run. Okay, so it did have a 100x run from $180 up to 20K. Okay, so we'll see. Okay, it had a 100x run. You kind of expect some sort of big mania poops. All right, even though that was vicious, and then that marked the low. Okay, and then after that was up only, by the way. So if you actually check it out, if I just show you the picture again, I know it was like rough, but if you go check out 2018, okay, in 2019, okay, you had basically. Yes, the low ends up forming, but then you have the next year and it ends up being pretty much what we know as, you know, as a plus token Ponzi rally to halfway. And yeah, the thing is, friends, this cycle, it's got mixes of every single cycle. It does. It's got mixes literally of everything. It's got mixes of where the Fed is, where the stocks are, where everything is. It's literally got it. And you know, friends, another thing as well, which is wild, like stocks have run all year, but Bitcoin didn't. That's actually what happened in 2018. You know, that 2018 year, I know that year. I've got a chart here for you. Looking in 2018, friends, what happened was, see, stocks went up all year at the end of 2018, and then at the end, they capitulated. And then they forced the Fed to move, to pivot. So do you see what I mean? Like, there's elements of everything. There's elements of 2019. They go, oh, the US Fed said this is just telling you now. Similar price action, right? So Bitcoin has been literally going poop, and altcoin, the market's been going poop for a year, and stocks are up here, and they look like they're going to roll down. Okay, they look like they're going to roll down, and then the US Fed acts here. But they waited for a full 20% drop to act. Okay. And then they stopped it here, and then it caused a bottom. Okay, so that's one element that's similar, where, you know, because stocks are strong next year. But then also something in 2019, we have QT ending. QT ending here. This is where we are now. Okay, so if you actually look where are we now? Yeah, so actually QT ending. Yeah, that's right. December 1st, it would be here. Where's what happened in December 1st? But yeah, but where did they end the QT? I think they ended it around September, around here. They ended QT. So yeah, they stopped quantitative tightening. So I've seen this event, there's elements of like everything in here as well. There's elements of here. And then I think as well, something similar to this period of time, OTHERS-btc was curling up, starting to curl up. Like the MACD was like rolling up. Yeah. So you can literally look at all these years I'm taking. But then what's everyone doing? Everyone's using the price action to go, oh, but you're also like 2021. 2021 cycle, you've topped out exactly, and then you're rolling over, right? Yeah, so to the end of 2021, I'm talking about. So yeah, man, this is, friends. You know what this reminds me of? I'll just tell you something. This reminds me of the stock market dudes talking about stocks, and as they kept going up earlier a year ago, people kept trying to short them and say, oh, it's too high. It's like this year. It's like that year. It's like the tech run and stuff out here, like tech bubble. And then they kept faking everybody out and then going up higher. And all the stock market dudes are like, yeah, everyone's trying to use a period of the past to attach, but there's so many similar elements. Cracking on with some news, friends. So President Trump has decided on the next Federal Reserve chair by Christmas, he said. He's going to decide on the next major loser power replacement by Christmas. And, you know, this is weird as well, friends. Another weird thing as well, I'm just showing you. If the cycle's over, look at MicroStrategy, okay? MicroStrategy had like this double top where it did it in 2021 and the end of 2021. When it flipped red on the weekly super trend, it was red for, look at this, total 260 days. Right now, it's flipped red and it's been about 266 days as well. Like, I'm just wondering if this weird... if it ends up doing this bottoming stuff. I'm just thinking like this. It's been like things, we've already been in a bear market for like a year. So what happens now? Something going to crack. And yeah, US Fed chairman, major loser power is going to be replaced in May. We'll see. Is the market going to do the relief move on it? That might be what happens. Where that's the relief thing, where everyone's like holding, but then people who are bears will be like, no, forget the news. It doesn't matter who's coming in. You can't save everything. It's the 4-year cycle. We need to capitulate lower. And then it'll be another 50-50 point as well. There's always this 50-50 stress, right? Jim Cramer says it feels like a cabal is trying to keep Bitcoin above $90,000. Almost feels like a cabal is trying to keep Bitcoin above 90K. I like Bitcoin, but I do not like any of the derivatives created to play or game it or mine it. So he's talking about all Bitcoin treasuries and stuff out here, which is funny, as he calls some sort of local bottom. That'd be interesting. Also, friend, since his inverse Oracle God, him saying the cabal's trying to keep it above 90K, maybe the cabal's trying to keep it under 90K. They've been trying to keep it under it. Maybe for accumulation. We'll see. President Trump says interest rates are too high. So he's obviously making a comment. And yes, obviously, President Trump saying interest rates are too high. And he's going to replace with a chairman. Obviously, it's going to be more of a dove. Remember, there's, friends, there's two stances, right? There's dove, there's hawk. Hawk's attack down. Hawkish means high interest rates, tie, care about inflation. And dove is like, obviously, doves fly. Yes. Doves also cry. Peter Schiff says Bitcoin has no future. Once again, calling for the bear market, saying it's pretty much game over. Uncle Peter Schiff has always been saying that, though. That is pretty much nothing new. And also, this is the gold price chart out here. So gold, funny, man, classical, right? It did right into the retrace, friends. See this gold? Look what it did. Literally straight into the 61.8 retrace. Everyone said gold is not top. Gold is not top. Comes back down here as well. That's why, friends, even more interesting things. Another thing to show you. You know, I showed you where similar to 2018, similar to 2019. Guess what happened in 2020? Gold rallied and gold peaked in 2020. Okay. And then guess what happened? When it stalled out, it stopped. There was a Bitcoin rotation that eventually came. You know? So that's why you're looking at all these parts. There's similar things. It's like you can take apart from every single year cycle. When I'm this confused, I'll do nothing. Crypto exchange Kraken has filed for a US IPO. So they're going to list on the stock market. That's another thing to just consider, friends. If Kraken's going to do an IPO with Ripple, you know, just we'll see. We'll see. This is another, you know, doesn't change price action or anything out here, but part of my exotic top signals is to see all of them pretty much list their stuff. HSBC will roll out tokenized deposits for corporate clients in the US and UAE in H1 2026. So they're going to offer 24/7 instant transfers as banks lean into tokenization over stablecoins. So we once again have Stablecoin SuperCycle infrastructure, massive stuff built. This is not what happened at the end of any cycle. That was mid-cycle stuff, right? That was like 60 to 70% cycle stuff, actually. Yeah, that was not end. It's like similar, like, huh, that's weird. All the institutions are still building. What happened? Did retail outsmart them? Did crypto YouTubers so, well, for you cycle says, did they outsmart all Wall Street and everything? I'm going to keep holding. Big Ondo Global Markets secured FMA approval to offer tokenized US stocks and ETFs across 30 European countries. So bringing stocks on chain, pretty good. Pretty good. So obviously that's all tokenizing stocks, and we're tokenizing and stablecoins. It's all part of Stablecoin SuperCycle, tokenization SuperCycle. Senator Tom Scott says the Senate could move on a crypto market structure bill in December. Will this be the step that finally gives the US clear crypto use rule? So, you know, that's why all the crypto KOLs, they're ready for relief. They go, it doesn't matter. Even if it goes up, that's why it's tough, right? If it goes up, they're saying, it's just a relief bounce, sell the lower high. But if you go, friends, if we look at the Wall Street cheat sheet, okay, look, I don't know what happens, but if we come and look at the Wall Street cheat sheet, okay, there is a part of it here which you'll notice, okay, right here, okay, we'll actually bring it up right here, the Wall Street cheat sheet, okay, let's actually bring it, let's move it up here, right here. So this belief, this is a sucker's rally, and this rally will fail like the others. So it's going to be 50-50 again. If we do go up, I mean, we have this like little, what they call the little relief, it will be that. Everyone will be saying, you're in disbelief, there's going to be denial, you're in denial. That's what everyone's going to be saying. You're in denial. My investments with great companies, they'll come back. That's what they'll be saying. You're in denial, you're going to have panic capitulation later. It isn't easy, isn't it? If only there was one nice key metric we could just rely on, all the time. We can't. So I've given you all the juiciest content, friends. All we want to know now, okay, which we can never really solve, okay? The puzzle you never solve, they say, with markets. Where are we going from here? As Bitcoin continues to sink into $88,000, breaking this trend, look, okay, if it's a bear market, if this whole year is garbage, if this whole year is trash, all right, we'll just accept it. We do whatever we can do, which is, all right, we got to wait another year, etc. All right, there'll be the same grifters and everyone eventually coming back, everything out here. But then you got to wrestle with some stuff, right? You know, in 2018, friends, it was just straight, like in every bear market, there was literally zero, and I mean zero good news. Literally not one piece of good news came. The good news was, at least the button still works. The machine still works on. That's it. Crypto, at least we didn't cause a nuclear bomb, but we did pretty much near it, okay? Like, there's just strange stuff happening. We get the US Fed, TGA, liquidity reinjection, US Fed's cutting, going from tightening to easing. We have the US Fed balance sheet, the QT's ending. I'm going to keep holding, friends. I'm going to keep holding, letting all these people capitulate out here. You know, everyone's basically, you know, coming out, laughing at, say, Tom Lee and everyone else out here. But I still think it's a believer cycle, okay? I know it looks trash for BTC and everything here. Okay, whatever. Okay, let's say it is a bear market. Okay, let's say it is a bear market. Okay, we'll roll it again in a year. And then we'll face the next round of bosses. We're ready for whatever. Like, subscribe, belly button all. Catch you soon.